Our top story this morning: after more than a year of hostilities and 2 months of an all-out war, a ceasefire is set to take effect in Lebanon. In a few minutes from now, about 30 minutes or so, the Israeli government has approved a truce with Hezbollah in Lebanon. And the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, has thanked US President Joe Biden for his involvement in securing a ceasefire agreement. Biden has said the ceasefire will begin at 4 a.m. local time. The United States is Israel's key ally and military backer, and Biden has hailed the deal as good news and a new start for Lebanon. He spoke at the White House after Netanyahu's office said his ministers had approved the deal. 10 ministers voted in favor, 1 against. Netanyahu says a ceasefire with Hezbollah will allow Israel to focus its attention on Hamas and arch-enemy Iran. On the other hand, Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron believe the ceasefire will protect Israel from Hezbollah and create conditions for a lasting calm. In a joint statement, Washington and Paris have said they will ensure the deal is fully implemented. Netanyahu has vowed that Israel will implement a ceasefire deal, but will respond forcefully to any violation. In a televised address, Netanyahu said, I'm quoting here, "The length of the ceasefire depends on what happens in Lebanon." But this is what's happening in Lebanon right now. The announcement followed the heaviest day of raids on Beirut since Israel stepped up its air campaign in Lebanon in late September. The air raids included a series of strikes in the city's centers. Hours ahead of the ceasefire taking effect, the Israeli army ordered the evacuation of residents in central Beirut and southern suburbs of the city. Hezbollah, meanwhile, said that it launched drones at sensitive military targets in Tel Aviv in response to the deadly Israeli strikes in Beirut. It also claimed responsibility for attacks on northern Israel after the agreement was announced. The militant group is, however, yet to make an official statement on the truce. Hezbollah also did not participate directly in the ceasefire talks, and Lebanese parliamentary speaker Nabi Berri was mediating on its behalf. The UK, EU, Germany and other nations have hailed the truce deal. It hopes that it will bring a halt to the unrest and provide some measure of relief to the civilians. The United States is now moving towards a new push for a ceasefire in Gaza. As he welcomed the Lebanon ceasefire, Biden said the U.S. would lead a fresh effort to secure a truce in Gaza along with Turkey, Egypt, Qatar, Israel and others. For more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Take a look.
The ceasefire is a temporary relief to a conflict that has devastated lives on both sides of the Israel-Lebanon border. It provides much-needed relief for displaced civilians, but the underlying dynamics between Israel and Hezbollah remain unchanged. Hezbollah's ties to Iran and its significant missile capabilities pose long-term threats to Israel's security. For Biden, this may be a diplomatic success, but ensuring compliance will be challenging. Israel under Benjamin Netanyahu will likely use this time to regroup and remain skeptical of Hezbollah's intentions. Ultimately, this ceasefire does buy time, but without a broader agreement between the two sides and a solution to the root of the conflict, renewed threats remain. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.